Welcome back to the Man in the Room channel, where we dive into the world's most baffling mysteries from the comfort of this very room. I'm your host, and today we're tackling one of history's greatest enigmas, the Tunguska Event. This massive explosion in 1908 shook the planet, was heard around the world, and still defies full explanation. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss our deep dives into the unknown. Let's get into it.
Imagine this. It's June 30th, 1908, in the remote Siberian wilderness near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River.
The taiga forest stretches endlessly, home to nomadic Evenki reindeer herders and little else. Suddenly, at around 7:17 a.m. local time, the sky lights up brighter than the sun. A massive fireball streaks across the horizon, followed by an earth-shattering boom. Trees snap like matchsticks, flames erupt, and a shockwave ripples out, flattening everything in its path. This wasn't just a local disaster. The blast was so powerful it registered on seismographs as far away as Washington, D.C. and London. Barometers in Europe spiked from the atmospheric pressure waves. For nights afterward, the skies over Asia and Europe glowed eerily, bright enough to read newspapers at midnight in London. Newspapers called it the Tunguska Miracle or Siberian Apocalypse. Eyewitnesses hundreds of miles away described a pillar of fire, thunderous roars, and tremors that knocked people off their feet. One Evenki herder, Semyon Semyonov, was sitting on his porch 40 miles from ground zero when he felt intense heat, saw a blinding light, and was hurled backward by the blast. His shirt caught fire from the radiant energy. Another witness, 200 miles away in Kansk, reported, "The sky split in two, and fire appeared high and wide over the forest." Seismic stations recorded it as a 5.0 magnitude earthquake. The explosion released energy equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, about 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. Yet, here's the kicker. No impact crater, no massive debris field, just 830 square miles of devastated forest, with 80 million trees radial fallen like spokes on a wheel, pointing away from the epicenter.
The blast radius was larger than modern-day London or New York City. Animals were vaporized, rivers boiled, and the ground was scorched. But what caused it? Over a century later, we still don't have a definitive answer. Was it a meteor? A comet? Something more exotic?
Let's explore the facts, the investigations, and the theories that keep this mystery alive.
To understand Tunguska, we need to go back to 1908. Russia was in turmoil. The 1905 revolution had just ended, Tsar Nicholas II was clinging to power, and Siberia was a vast, unexplored frontier. News traveled slowly. It took weeks for word of the explosion to reach St. Petersburg, let alone the world. The first reports came from newspapers like the Siberian Life and Irkutsk Gazette. They described a huge pillar of fire and deafening bangs heard up to 500 miles away. In Irkutsk, 370 miles south, windows rattled. In London, 3,000 miles west, the night sky was illuminated for days due to dust and ice particles scattered into the upper atmosphere.
This noctilucent clouds phenomenon was observed across Europe, allowing people to play golf at night in Scotland.
Eyewitness testimonies, collected years later, paint a vivid picture. Chuchan of the Shanyga tribe said, "We saw a huge ball of fire flying through the sky. It exploded, and we were thrown to the ground. The forest shook, and reindeer fled in panic."
Another herder lost his entire herd. Hundreds of reindeer incinerated or crushed. Some reported black rain falling afterward, possibly soot from the fires.
But why no immediate investigation? Politics and logistics. The Russian Empire was focused on internal strife, and the site was incredibly remote. Swamps, mosquitoes, and harsh winters made access near impossible. It wasn't until 1921, after the Bolshevik Revolution and Civil War, that scientists began to take interest. The man who kickstarted the scientific hunt was Leonid Kulik, a Russian mineralogist. In 1921, while cataloging meteorites for the Soviet Academy of Sciences, he stumbled upon old newspaper clippings about the Tunguska meteorite. Intrigued, he organized the first expedition in 1927, funded by the new Soviet government. Kulik's team trekked through 300 miles of taiga on horseback and raft, battling floods and insects. When they arrived, they were stunned. From a ridge, they saw a vast cauldron of flattened trees, all pointing outward from a central point. No crater, though, just a boggy marsh with standing dead trees at the epicenter, their branches stripped like telegraph poles. Kulik theorized a meteorite had exploded mid-air, vaporizing before impact. He returned in 1928, 1929, and 1930, drilling for fragments but finding none. His photos and measurements documented the radial tree fall, estimating the blast height at 3 to 6 miles altitude. In the 1950s, Soviet aerial surveys revealed butterfly-shaped devastation. They found tiny glass spherules in the soil, formed from melted rock. Carbon-14 dating of tree rings showed anomalies around 1908. Italian researchers in the 1990s proposed Lake Cecco, 5 miles from the epicenter, as a possible impact crater. It's unusually conical and deep, but sonar scans showed no meteorite fragments, and sediment dating suggests it predates 1908. Debate continues. In 2013, Ukrainian scientists analyzed peat samples and found diamond-like Lonsdaleite crystals, which form under extreme pressure, like in meteor impacts. Despite dozens of expeditions, no smoking gun, no large fragments, no clear crater. This absence fuels the mystery. The consensus among scientists is that Tunguska was a cosmic impact event, the largest in recorded history. But was it an asteroid or a comet? Let's break it down. First, the asteroid theory. Asteroids are rocky or metallic bodies from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Models suggest a stony asteroid 50 to 80 meters wide entered the atmosphere at 15 to 30 kilometers per second. Friction heated it to thousands of degrees, causing it to explode in an airburst at 5 to 10 kilometer altitude.
Evidence? Trajectory calculations from eyewitness reports point to an asteroidal path. A 2001 study by Paolo Farinella gave it an 83% probability. Micrometeorites found in resin from 1908 trees match asteroid composition. The energy yield matches 10 to 15 megatons. But why no fragments? Stony asteroids might fully vaporize, leaving only dust. If iron, pieces could be buried deep in permafrost. Now, the comet theory. Comets are icy bodies from the outer solar system. In 1930, British astronomer F.J.W. Whipple proposed a cometary nucleus. In 1978, Slovak astronomer Lubor Kresak linked it to Comet Encke, a short-period comet. A fragment could have broken off during a close solar pass. Comets, being mostly ice, would explode higher up, explaining no debris. The glowing skies? Water vapor and dust from the comet scattering sunlight.
A 1980s model by NASA's Tom Garrels supported this, estimating a 100-meter comet head.
Pros: explains the bright nights and lack of solid remains. Cons: comets are rarer intruders, and probability models favor asteroids, 17% for comets. Recent simulations blend the two, perhaps an extinct comet with a rocky core, or a hybrid object. While mainstream science sticks to cosmic impacts, Tunguska's mysteries have spawned wilder ideas. Let's explore some for fun, though they're largely debunked. In 1973, physicists A. A. Jackson and Michael Ryan suggested a primordial black hole passed through Earth. It would enter one side, exit the other, causing explosions at both points. Tunguska as entry, a possible Atlantic disturbance as exit, but no evidence of an exit event, and many black holes evaporate via Hawking radiation. Dismissed. Antimatter, a chunk of antimatter from space annihilating on contact with air. This process causes total vaporization, releasing vast amounts of pure energy. The energy release is the most efficient possible. But antimatter is unstable in our matter-dominated universe. It'd react long before reaching Earth. No gamma-ray signatures detected. Alien spacecraft, popular in UFO circles, perhaps a crashing ship or nuclear propulsion failure. Russian sci-fi writer Alexander Kazantsev proposed this in 1946, inspired by Hiroshima. Some claim Evenki legends of iron birds or fire gods, but no wreckage, and it's unfalsifiable. Tesla's death ray, Nikola Tesla, was experimenting with wireless energy transmission from Wardenclyffe Tower in 1908. Conspiracy theorists say he test-fired a beam at the North Pole but missed, hitting Siberia. Tesla did claim such tech, but timelines don't match. He'd dismantled the tower by then. No evidence. Recent idea: permafrost released a massive methane bubble ignited by lightning.
explains no crater and local fires. But methane blasts don't match the energy scale or global effects.
Siberia has seen smaller gas craters recently, but nothing like Tunguska. Nuclear or man-made? Pre-atomic bomb? Impossible in 1908. Some suggest natural nuclear fission in uranium deposits, but no radiation spikes found.
These fringe theories highlight Tunguska's allure. It's a Rorschach test for the imagination.
After 115 luff years, why no closure? Several reasons. Remoteness. The site was inaccessible for decades. Early evidence, like fresh soil, was lost to time. No direct evidence. Airbursts leave little trace. Chelyabinsk 2013 meteor was similar but smaller. Fragments were found because it was overpopulated areas.
Political barriers, wars, revolutions, Cold War delayed international collaboration.
Technological limits. Only recently have we had advanced modeling, satellite imagery, and microanalysis. Modern efforts continue. NASA's asteroid tracking programs use Tunguska as a case study for planetary defense. In 2020, a study in monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society proposed an iron asteroid that grazed the atmosphere, then exploding, but continuing into space. This explains no fragments, but debates rage on. If a similar object hit today over a city, it could kill millions. The event reminds us Earth is vulnerable. Larger impacts shaped history, like the dinosaur-killing Chicxulub. The Tunguska Event remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries, a cosmic wake-up call heard around the world. Whether asteroid, comet, or something else, it shows how fragile our planet is amid the stars. We've pieced together much, but the full origin eludes us, keeping the intrigue alive. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm spread the mystery. Subscribe to Man in the Room for more enigmas, from lost civilizations to modern conspiracies. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. What do you think caused Tunguska? Comment below: asteroid, comet, or aliens? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious.